it's not an easy day. We're marking the year anniversary of losing our wonderful friend and colleague, Lisa Shaw. Of course, it's been, much documented that Lisa died from an extremely rare reaction to the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. And Lisa wasn't just our mate, she wasn't just our friend, but she was, for lots of you listening as well, she was your friend too, having been on the radio in the Northeast, for a really long time. I think we were babies when we first came into the radio industry together. Well, so many people have sent messages to us asking about Gareth, her husband, and a little boy, Zach, and her family. And you've sent incredible messages as well. Well, I've met Gareth quite a few times just to catch up and chat, really. And for today, we thought we would do exactly the same, just with a microphone, so that you too can hear how life is for Gareth and Zach and Lisa's incredible family. You and I have talked about that. Everybody says to you, how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah.
And actually, that's the question that, although you want people to ask you, it's a very difficult question. So I don't want to ask that question.
It's the question that everybody asks. And I think the British way to answer it is, oh, I'm fine. But you're not fine. But you don't want to burden somebody with how you really feel about things. It was something that I learned very quickly, the how are you, or how are you doing question. It's a difficult question to answer, and sometimes you just can't be bothered to answer. You just think, I don't want to tell somebody how I'm really feeling today. So I'll just say I'm okay, even though you're not.
Also, it's a changeable thing, isn't it? Because you might be okay for a moment and then not okay. So it's one of those things that, again, it's difficult because it's never changing.
I don't think
emotion.
I think since Lisa died, I don't think I've had many very happy days. I think you have days when you're okay and days when you're calm and kind of just chilled about life, and you just get on. Some days are for some reason lower than others, and you just get a day where you just think, I don't feel great today. But obviously Lisa and I have a son, and you've got to just, it doesn't matter if you're feeling down or low or whatever. Yes, you can feel like that, but the alarm still goes off at 7 o'clock, and you've still got to get him sorted for school and get him his breakfast and get him to school on a morning, and you've still got to do those things no matter how you feel and no matter how hard it is.
And the interesting thing, because you've mentioned this to me as well, is that if you lose a parent, that's pretty much that's nature's way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely
horrendous for people that lose their children. When you lose your partner, you're losing the one person that you would talk to about that loss.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when Lisa lost her stepdad, and he was 80, and I think by the time that we lost him, he was ready, and he'd suffered quite a bit. And I remember losing one of my grandparents and stuff like that. You feel that they're ready to go, and it's a relief and a bit of a release maybe. But as you say, I think when you lose somebody that is, so Lisa was 44, and obviously we lost Lisa very, very suddenly. It's a massive shock, and like you say, you're not ready for that person to not be here at all.
And they're fit and so full of life.
Yeah, and you knew Lisa, and the listeners all knew Lisa, and
loved her.
Yeah, and she was exactly as she was. That's what she was like, and it's hard trying to process and deal with what happened to Lisa, and your feelings. And as I say, and as you said, the one person that could help me with those thoughts, if you're down or if you're feeling negative or, anxious or, not feeling like doing anything, the one person that could help you isn't here. Lisa was the person that could do those things for me. Lisa was the person that understood me better than I probably do. Bizarrely, I think I said not long after Lisa died, Lisa had the instruction manual to my brain.
Yeah, she did, because we used to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, she knew what I was thinking before I'd even thought it. She could tell what I was thinking just by looking at me, and she knew everything about me. She knew I was clumsy, anxious, a geek, all these things. She just knew.
Funny.
Well, she just, like I say, and then when your person, because that's what she was, when she's your person, the person that you're meant to be with, when they're not here anymore, honestly, it is just, the gap it leaves in your life is just, it's indescribable.
And the very simple things, which you think might possibly take your mind away for a moment, whether it's watching the telly
Yeah.
or listening to the music,
Yeah.
life's joys in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that you did with Lisa, and so those simple things are hard.
Yeah, so there's like TV shows that we would watch together, and it just doesn't feel the same anymore. And you think, well, did I not actually enjoy watching that TV show? Well, maybe I just actually enjoyed watching it with Lisa.
Yeah.
And apparently it's a thing, and I think when you lose somebody, and I think other people that have lost somebody close will probably understand something. I mean, informally people call it widow brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggle to concentrate on telly. I struggle to read. I can't really concentrate long enough to kind of get stuff into my head, and I'll read the first 3 or 4 pages of a book time and time again. I find myself watching telly that I've seen before a lot.
Yeah.
So I watch the same things over and over again. Watch things that we Webbies watched together for a bit of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
But as I say, there's very few things over the last 12 months that I've engaged with that were new, just because I find it hard to concentrate sometimes.
Now, one of the things that Lisa didn't, a little bit like me, she sometimes felt a little bit kind of apathetic about, that's putting it politely, was football.
Mm-hmm.
Can you enjoy the football? Because I know that is something that you do feel passionate about, and it is a bit of a release.
Yeah. No, Lisa couldn't have cared less about the football.
Yeah.
She cared that I cared about it.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this, and about like when the takeover was happening and stuff like that, and I'm on my phone constantly at this point on social media looking for updates about this blooming takeover, and yes, it's happening, no it's not, yes it's happening, no it's not. And Lisa lived that through rolled eyes, and
a lot of people do.
Literally, I couldn't even care less what you're talking about. But she knew that it was something that I've supported Newcastle. I went to my first game in 1989, I think it was, or something. And Lisa's older sister is a massive Newcastle fan as well, and she knew that we were bothered about it and stuff. But football has been a big thing since Lisa died, and it's a part of your life where there's a bit of hope and a bit of, it just takes your mind away from everything for a couple of hours, and
makes you laugh sometimes. The supporters make
the stuff that people say, it's like in a football stadium, people come up with all sorts of nonsense. But my brother-in-law, speaking to him after the match, and there was all of the flags and the walk around the pitch at the end of the game, and it was like, it would have been nice, if Lisa could have seen this. I was like, she wouldn't have cared. She wouldn't have been bothered at all in the slightest. She would have gone, yeah, well, that's nice. The flags look nice, don't they? They're bonny. But, not really that fussed, to be
Put
honest.
Australian MasterChef on.
Yes. Can we watch Grey's Anatomy? But it has given us that hope, and it has given us that something else to focus on, that idea that Newcastle might do something in the future. They might win the cup. I don't know. That's all I'm bothered about, they might do it.
Yeah. It's nice, isn't it, to get a little glimmer of joy, from the footy. That's Gareth there, Gareth Eve, our lovely friend and colleague, Lisa Shaw's husband, who was tragically lost a year ago tomorrow. It's lovely to hear that he gets that, I think. In the next half hour, you're going to hear from Gareth and get a little insight into what life was like without Lisa, and how perhaps, when you face tragedies in your life, what it can teach us about really what matters in this life. Really appreciate you being with us today. Appreciate all your calls and your messages as well. You've been great. It is BBC Radio Newcastle. It's the sound of the North East. And if you're new to us, new to our family, we're chatting about Lisa today, our wonderful friend that we lost a year ago tomorrow. She had a very rare reaction to the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. And it's nice to talk to Gareth, I think, and nice for you to hear Gareth, Lisa's husband, to find out how they're doing, and little Zach as well.